in the global arena. So the Indian foreign policy is increasingly aligned with this vision, that is the prosperous, resilient, and globally influential India, focusing on strategic partnerships, regional stability, and proactive engagements to secure India's interests and elevate its role on the world stage. I'm glad that some of the presenters in the second half of today, my bad, I had my lectures in the morning, so I could not come and attend all the sessions, but about 4 to 5 presentations that I had heard just before this session, there were quite a few topics which are of great relevance to what we are doing, we in the sense what India is doing right now, in terms of diplomacy, in terms of AI, and also various other digital platforms which we are really promoting to the world platform. So let me quickly touch upon the key visions of this Viksit Bharat 2047. The overarching vision of Viksit Bharat is to transform India into a developed entity which has been characterized by economic prosperity, social advancement, environmental sustainability, and very importantly, effective governance. This vision aspires for India to emerge as a leading global power, and that is something which we have been hearing and seeing on television channels whenever our Prime Minister or any of our leaders travel to other parts of the country. In fact, the Prime Minister has just returned from Israel after a very successful 2 days visit. This vision aspires India, of course, to be a regional power or a global power, offering the citizens high standards of living and ensuring equitable growth for all. This initiative places a very strong emphasis on building a self-reliant nation, which is the main theme of today's discussion, with a robust and prosperous economy. So taking few cues from this main theme of today's conference, I would like to present a few viewpoints of myself of how I see the emerging trajectory of the Indian foreign policy vis-a-vis a very important region, that is West Asia, which we fondly call our extended neighborhood, and how this to a great extent is helping India in achieving its targets within this framework of Viksit at 2047. Before I get into the details of the West Asia-India relations, let me give a broad overview of the region and why this has become of great importance for India, and particularly in achieving our foreign policy objectives vis-a-vis the region. As we all know, West Asia is at the crossroads of 3 very important pivotal continents and civilizations. That is, you have Asia on one side, and you have Europe on the other side, and in the middle you have Africa. So this has made the region a lot more important for India, and it is going to be, and it remains, and it will be one of the most important regions towards our economic growth trajectory, and at the same time our regional role to bring some sort of a prosperity and stability in that part of the world. That is because the region had seen several turmoils in the last almost 50 to 60 years, in fact more than that. But however, there has been some sort of a calmness in the region since particularly the late 90s or the early 2000s, barring a few years when there was little bit of a chaos during the heights of groups like ISIS, Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. But however, we had seen some sort of a realignment in the political relations between arch rivals of the region, particularly between Israel and some of the Arab countries. So this transformation, realignment of relations in West Asia also opened up a lot of opportunities for a country like India, where we now only look at we not only look at the region bilaterally, but we are also looking at the region multilaterally. So that is, in the form of something like I2U2. All of you must have heard about I2U2, India, Israel, UAE, and US format, which came into life in 2020. And at the same time, just before, and somebody has mentioned in one of the presentations about G20 summit, which was held in India in September 2023. During on the sidelines of G20 summit, we had launched a very ambitious project called IMEC, India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. So this sort of an arrangement, multilateral arrangements amongst various like-minded countries with commonality of shared interests, has really worked in favor of all the participating countries, or something which we call the win-win cooperation model.
We build not just knowledge, but confidence and competence. For the admission details, contact MIT School of Indian Civil Services and visit the website www.mitsics.edu.in.